I'm Wang. Welcome to the Fantasy Minute. Week 14 was a boon for wide receivers, including standout performances from the likes of Calvin Johnson, T.Y. Hilton, and Percy Harvin, as well as two Minnesota Vikings, Jarius Wright and Charles Johnson, both surpassing 100 yards. But the best of all the wideouts was A.J. Green, who is this week's player on the rise after 224 yards and one touchdown on 11 receptions in the Bengals' 42-21 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Green owners can count on elevated production from the gold standard wide receiver one in the next two rounds of the fantasy playoffs, thanks to what figures to be high-scoring affairs against the Browns and Broncos. One notable wide receiver going the other direction is Cecil Shorts. The fourth-year player had 2 catches for 3 yards despite 10 targets in a 27-13 loss to the Houston Texans, and over his last 3 games has 44 yards on 7 catches combined. Short should remain on your bench for the duration of the fantasy playoffs. Sticking with the wide receiver theme for the waiver wire, Marquez Wilson of the Chicago Bears is worth adding. Wilson appears in line to handle much of the work in the slot following a season-ending rib injury to elite wide receiver one Brandon Marshall, and he'll have extra time to prepare for a game against the struggling Saints, with the Bears having played Thursday night. My sleeper pick is New York Jets running back Chris Ivory. Although Ivory has been pedestrian this season, he has a fantastic matchup against the Tennessee Titans, who are ranked last in the NFL in rush defense, giving up nearly 142 yards per game. They've also allowed 14 rushing touchdowns, the second most this season. Find out which other players I'm bullish and bearish about in the Stock Watch, available Tuesdays at WashingtonPost.com, and find me on Twitter for your lineup and trade questions. See you next time on the Fantasy Minute.